What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 532 of. Is that right? That doesn't
Let me
seem
double check.
right.
Hold on. Yes, that is correct.
Episode
I've got my list.
532 of It's Super Effective Pokemon Podcast. I'm your host, William Robert George Anderson, if you go by the full Catholic inclusion of all
Way to dox yourself.
add-ons.
There's only like 18 of those in Minnesota
Look,
alone.
I have St. George to protect me, so that's why we toss him a bone every now and then. With me this week is known Magic the Gathering cheater Greg.
How? What? When did I cheat?
I saw what you did to Vince last night.
Vince?
You made him give up and cry.
Well, look.
He was like, there's nothing I can do. I submit.
There was the possibility that that game could have gone on for another hour, or Vince could have given up, which I looked at him and said, just let me win. Because he was going to do a thing where we swapped everything out of our graveyards and put them up. And I'm like, I have a million things in my graveyard right now because you kept destroying everything. So, like, he's like, I don't want to do the math. I'm like, I don't want to either. So, he won the first two games.
I almost got Grist to work last night.
What, did you do 25 damage in one go?
Oh, that was a good one. Ryan was talking about that for on and on. But also with us this week, one of the last four people, including myself, on Be Real, Al. Al, do you also have Haley and Jude on your Be Real? Because, I mean, we're only the last four people here.
I don't. I actually have a few people that I know in real life that I have on Be Real.
That's not real.
And
nobody knows anybody in real life.
And it's quite funny because they quite often meet up together. So like they'll all just have almost identical Be Reals of just their faces.
What?
And it just totally doesn't make you feel left out.
What is Be Real?
Oh, dear
Greg.
It is the answer to what's the best way to put it?
The question that nobody's asking.
So you know how Instagram
yeah,
used to be
fair.
like, let me just take a picture of what's going on in my life and share it with my friends, and then over time it became, let me construct
TikTok?
this image of a lifestyle that doesn't really exist in reality. So Be Real is trying to counteract that, and the way that Be Real does that is it just at a random point in the day.
Is that weird thing you do every once in a while? You're like, oh!
It gives you an alert, and you have 2 minutes to take a picture of what you're doing in that moment. Greg, you've been featured on my Be Real.
What happens if you're busy doing taxes?
Well, you just don't do it at that point.
Well, no.
Like it doesn't automatically do it.
It's like it's the term of service that you agreed upon.
You can post late, but then it gives you a notice that says this was posted 10 hours late. Or because there's once when the alert went off at like 11:58 p.m. and 11:58 p.m. Will Anderson is long gone from this.
You're
world.
gone. You're dead.
So I just posted when I woke up.
All right,
yeah,
so,
I am very intrigued as to how they decide the timings because it's definitely not the same across the world. Because we're
true.
Quite often posting several hours apart, and I wonder whether instead of because I don't think they're doing it time zone by time zone either.
I think it's groups of time zones.
They're doing it. That's what I'm suspecting.
Yeah.
So like I suspect like all of Europe and like all of the Americas, and then maybe like half of Asia, and then like just kind of these chunks. I suspect.
Well, China's one time zone, so that keeps that easy. But
oh yeah, but it's not all of Asia.
Might as well be. But I mean, I've noticed like you are my only European, and you're offset, but me, Jude, and Haley, like we're always at the same time.
Huh. And you're in different time zones.
I think Haley's an hour behind. I think Haley's in Mountain Time.
Right. Okay.
That time
because you're the only person I have that's outside of Scotland. So
there you go.
Before we go any further,
yes, sir.
I know everybody is curious how my dating life in Pokemon Masters is going.
Oh, this is yes.
Awful.
There's been a big call.
It's
for
going
this.
up. Okay. Well, first of all, I am now having to decide between my two best loves, which is Professor Sycamore or N.
Ooh.
They are both up there. They both love talking to me. We have a great time. Yesterday, we both visited a weird alley and talked about other, which, okay, Pokemon Masters, what does other mean as a topic? What does other mean?
Well, it's just, what is it? Anything other than the other defined topics that have been given to you.
Which is Pokemon, places, items, and one more, I think. And it's bizarre. Anyways, Lily, I know you're listening.
Have you dumped her?
You're dead to me.
Good.
3 questions. And she's like, okay, well, we're done. I'm like, no, we're not. We are not done. We aren't. Get back in this dark alley and have a conversation about Nebby.
Greg, she is an individual with her own identity, and she can make choices about how she conducts her life. Thank you.
I played Sun and Moon, and I know that's an incorrect statement.
Look, don't you dare. All right.
Her mom isn't even around.
Here's the issue, as I would frame it for you, as an external viewer. I would say Professor Sycamore presents as a very masculine presentation, and I suspect N is more non-binary.
Yeah.
And Greg, I just think I don't see you enjoying a life commitment to a non-binary partner. I think you really thrive on the masculine energy. So
look, when they stop forking out the gifts, then the relationship's done.
We all know that's all about the money.
I'm just here for the money.
Wow.
Look. Also, apparently everybody in the Pokemon world is introverted because their energy goes down the more you talk to them.
Yeah, me too.
And like
thanks.
somebody has to start at 0 and be like, keep talking to me, and I can be like, we're done. I've been here for 5 hours. Also, it's still absolutely hilarious to have Giovanni cheering for all these people in the wastelands of a volcano. It is still my favorite moments in his little Nidoking hat, screaming at everybody to find treasure. It's a perfect game now.
All right. In this week of very little news, we have dredged the absolute bottom of the barrel for both co-hosts and news items.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
If you didn't see that coming.
I said 2 weeks ago, I bet it's about time for me to get back on the podcast now for my yearly episode.
Well, you manifested and it became real. It's the secret.
You are lucky that Dr. Mathis had a previous commitment. And
don't say that to guests.
Bev is camping this weekend.
See, everybody's like, "Oh, Will's my favorite." I'm like, and I tell them, Will's mean.
No,
he's just a
Will
mean
is
person.
honest, and everybody deserves to know their place in the world and not have self-deception.
I'll be totally honest with you. If I could choose between Cody and Bev and me, I would definitely choose one of Cody and Bev.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from Bev in a while. Besides having to ask her to stop posting pictures of jellyfish on Snapchat because it was giving me issues. Our first news item of the week. The Pokemon Company International wins Game of the Year at September 2022 Toy of the Year Awards.
Rolling it in.
Pokemon trading card game earns recognition for its innovative crossover with globally popular Pokemon GO mobile game. This is from... whatever, no tagline. The Pokemon Company International announced today that the Pokemon trading card game, TCG, Pokemon GO Elite Trainer Box, has been awarded Game of the Year at the Toy Foundation September 2022 Toy of the Year, TOTY, Awards. The TOTY Awards recognize the top toys, games, and licenses, with winners decided by votes cast by the public and industry based on a pool of finalists determined by expert judges. The Game of the Year category is evaluated based on the product's creativity, design, playability, and marketing, and was previously won by the Pokemon Company International in 2021 for its Pokemon TCG Battle Academy family board game. The Pokemon TCG has been an iconic part of the Pokemon brand for over 25 years, and it's a joy to witness so many fans rekindle their love for the game through this special crossover with one of the most popular mobile games in the world, said Barry Sams, vice president of the trading card game at the Pokemon Company International. We're honored that the Pokemon Go Elite Trainer Box has been recognized for bringing a unique spin on the classic Pokemon TCG, and we look forward to delivering even more new exciting products as we gear up for 2023. The globally popular Pokemon TCG Pokemon Go Elite Trainer Box is a special collaboration based on the Pokemon Go app, featuring cards with photorealistic artwork and unique gameplay scenarios inspired by the beloved mobile title. The Pokemon Go app quickly took the world by storm upon its debut and has since been downloaded more than 1 billion times. To learn more about the Pokemon TCG, visit Pokemon.com/TCG. I should have been a 50s radio announcer.
You should have.
Give me copy, I will read it. How much do you think?
So where's the outrage? Have we seen outrage? How they shouldn't have this?
Well, here's some outrage then. Is a toy a game? Is an Elite Trainer Box really a game?
Are games toys? I mean,
I think games can be toys, but is the trading card game? Oh, yeah, I just said game.
I'm waiting for you to get there because it's got it in the title. We're just going to walk to the category.
Fair. Yeah, fair. Fine. Okay.
The question is, how much did the Pokemon Company pay the judges? Because we all know that all awards programs are scams.
Okay, so I am on their the world can vote for what they like. Here are our categories: action figures, collectibles, construction, creative, doll, game, grown-up,
grown-up toys,
infant toddler,
Greg.
License, outdoor, playset, plush, preschool, ride-on,
Ride-on the Pokemon?
specialty,
I'm guessing that's like bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ride-on.
Steam,
STEAM, all in caps. Please tell me all. Okay, all in caps is okay.
yeah, it's STEAM. But of course, the thing is STEAM, everything's all in caps.
But do you know what that means, Greg? Wait, you know?
Yeah, I do. But the fact that everything is in caps, I sat there, I'm like, have we moved into the steam engine era of toys?
Oh,
well, that was what I was wondering.
Oh, wait, so
steam-powered toys.
So like Ride-On is also all in caps?
Yes.
Okay, that's
so is vehicle. So vehicle and Ride-On are different categories. These categories are wild. But let's go to Grown Up, and we'll talk about what's in Grown Up. Air Titans, Jurassic World, Massive Attacks, Radio-Controlled T-Rex, Barbie Signature Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee Doll, Al, for you.
Ooh,
Al,
too soon.
the sad.
What am I allowed to say on the podcast?
No, you're not.
Oh,
Then I'm saying nothing.
Do you realize I've like put on my Instagram story
yourself.
the Sex Pistols?
The Legacy Lightsaber hilt of Cal Castisis, the Fisher-Price Little People Collector Ted Lasso set, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Wow.
Adult, grown up, yes.
Yeah.
The Flyer...
Kids aren't watching Ted Lasso.
The Flyer electric bike. I didn't know Flyer had electric bike. Anyways. Lego Ideas The Office, Al.
I do like Lego.
And
The
Light
Office.
Bright Wall Art Pop Wow
Wait,
edition.
did they spell Office the British way or the American way? Because they're two different programs.
It looks like this is the American.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think the British Office was popular enough to get a Lego set.
Yeah, it also has a U in a weird place. I'm not going to tell you where the U is. Just know that the UK just puts U's wherever the heck they want. So in the game category, we have like board games, which I'm assuming they would fit because it's got Star Wars Villainous, it's got the Pokemon trading card game, it's got this Mantis by Exploding Kittens, it's got Connect 4 spin game, which just seems like way too much movement for Connect 4, and Catch the Moon, which is like a 3D version of Chutes and Ladders. Dunno.
Oh.
There's a lot in here. So, I mean, winning Toy of the Year, like,
Game of the
For
year.
the game.
No. It won
section.
Toy of the Year. That's literally the award that it won. It's
Yeah, it's
like
Game of the
as
Year.
opposed
So
to
did
the
it
last
win-
week. It literally won the best toy of all toys this year.
No, the link says Game of the Year at the Toy Foundation September 2022 Toy of the Year Awards. The category it won was Game of the Year.
Was game. So
okay.
it won best in game. I don't think there's an
Yeah.
overall vote on everything. I want to know what's in collectibles versus action figures.
You can collect things
Funko
that
Pops.
aren't action figures.
Okay, so here's the highlights of collectibles, which is the minifigures by the Muppets, the Harry Potter playing cards, Magic Mixie's Magic's Mixlings,
Ooh, big fan.
and Poppet Pets versus action figures, which are the Gigabot Energy Core, Heroes of Goo Jitsu Goo Shifters. They're the gooeyest, stretchiest, most powerful heroes, according to this tagline. The Jurassic World Dominion Super Colosso Gigantosaurus, the Jurassic World Real FX Baby Blue, Star Wars animatronic droids, and a Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventure Dinobots Unite Smash Changer Optimus Prime.
You know, there was a point in my life where I thought I would never fall out of love with toys. And yet
here we are.
today, I'm like, I would rather have a nice new set of Addy Turbo knitting needles than a Transformer.
When you want to get socks instead of action figures for Christmas, that's when your life is so fundamentally changed.
Do you know a sock knitting machine is like $2K to get a quality sock knitting?
What?
$2K US, not even.
What?
Yeah.
To just make socks?
But buddy, we all wear socks.
Yeah, but you're going to have to make a lot of socks to cover that cost.
Well, once you have a sock machine, of course you're going to make a lot of socks.
Yeah, I mean, valid.
Anyway,
Everybody gets socks.
back
Welcome
to
to
the
sock.
world of Pokemon. I imagine that this one game of the year, specifically because of the crossover with Pokemon Go, and they're like, how innovative was it that they were able to breathe new life into the Pokemon trading card game by doing a crossover. Greg, don't give me that look.
I breathe new life. I don't think it was like. I think it was gasping.
Money. And all the Pokemon Go fanatics out there are like, well, let me buy this ETB because it's about Pokemon Go and I love Pokemon Go. And there it's like cash ka-ching. And the Toy Awards were like, yes, this was an innovative way for you to print some more fat greenbacks for yourself.
Are we admitting that Game of the Year goes to people who just bought the game but never had any intention of playing the game?
Oh, it's not about playability. Absolutely.
I tell you what's very confusing is if you go on to the Toy of the Year Awards website, they list the February 2022 winners and the September 2022 winners. Now, I'm not really sure you can have two winners of the year in a year.
Well, if they have the award ceremony every 6 months, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Years are very short now and very long. Time is meaningless is what Toy of the Year is saying. Time means nothing anymore.
Look, in less than 6 months, I'm going to be 50 years old. And we all will know that that is not true and not possible. So we will move on to
Pokemon won License of the Year.
What did?
Pokemon won License of the Year, according to their website.
That was the February one, right? They didn't win it in September as well. Squishmallows won it in September.
Yeah, Squishmallows won Toy of the Year, People's Choice Award.
All right, let's move on to the next news item. This is from PokemonGoLive.com. Strut in style with Marini, Toxapex, and newly costumed Pokemon during Fashion Week. Which Fashion Week is it? I wish they had told us, because there's multiple Fashion Weeks.
It's got to be Paris. It's the only one that matters
I should
anymore.
ask my brother, because he works for Condé Nast, and he actually knows about this stuff. Trainers. Marini and several Pokemon sporting the latest fashions are making their runway debuts in Pokemon Go. Furfro also makes its return to shine on stage in its various forms. Keep a sharp eye out for other stylish Pokemon that are ready to trend in the wild through research tasks and from eggs. Eggs is capitalized.
For reasons.
In proper Fashion Week style, the in-game shop will have new avatar items fresh off the catwalk, along with a sale on select avatar items so trainers can be as hip as their buddy Pokemon. We can't wait to see you show off your style. Fashion Week, Tuesday, September 27th, 2022 at 10 a.m. to Monday, October 3rd, 2022 at 8 p.m. local time. Pokemon debuts. Marini and Toxapex with the Brutal Star Pokemon will make their Pokemon Go debuts. New costume Pokemon will appear during this event. Diglett wearing a fashionable costume. He has a bowler.
Is a bowler fashionable anywhere outside of London 1980?
Yes, if you're in a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
1988
London.
Doug
That's
Trio
it.
wearing a fashionable costume, which is literally just one of them.
One of them
they
wearing
could
a bowler.
afford 3 hats.
Why did two of them lose it? Like, because
Because-
presumably they all had them at the beginning.
Only one bought it, and the other friends were like, "Hey, can we just look cool with you?" Because they had a limited run.
Absol wearing a fashionable costume, and I can't even see the
It's
costume.
sunglasses.
It's sunglasses.
Oh, dear.
It's
You can see a
aviator
better image of it
glasses.
at the top of the page.
Toxicroak wearing a fashionable costume, which looks like it was wearing a bowler, but it put a spike through it?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it stole
a broken
it stole the hats from Diglett and just destroyed them because
It's also not a bowler. It's a backwards baseball cap.
on the Toxicroak.
It
Oh
is.
yeah, because Krogunk has
Yeah.
the backward cap.
There you go.
I knew Toxicroak was a bro.
Timed research is Diglett, Absol, Croagunk, all wearing fashionable costume. In Go Snapshot, a fashionable Pokemon may make a surprise appearance. Wild encounters, Butterfree, Murkrow, Glameow, Croagunk. Butterfree will be wearing a fashionable costume. Blitzel wearing a fashionable costume. Gothita, Frillish, female. Furfro, Marini. And if you're lucky, you may encounter the following. Diglett, fashionable costume. Curlia, fashionable costume. What is Curlia's fashionable costume?
I don't know. You can't see it.
Don't see anything. Absol wearing a fashionable Raids, Diglett's, 1-star, Shinx, Croagunk, Scraggy, not in a costume. Furfro, no costume. 3 stars, Butterfree, Curlia, Absol, Marini, wearing nothing. 5-star Raids, Yveltal, and Mega Raids, Mega Lopunny.
And Yveltal could be shiny, which means bacon bird.
Yeah,
Maybe
we don't need 1,000 more of those. Eggs are Diglett, Smoochum, Shinx, or Croagunk, all wearing fashionable costume, which I think for Smoochum, it's just the bow.
It's just a bow.
Oof. Field research, Eevee, Murkrow, Skitty, Glameow, Croagunk's fashionable costume, Blitzel wearing a fashionable costume, and then your avatar items are dubious.
Big pants, two-tone shirts,
Junkos
and a
are
weird
back.
Marini costume.
Junkos are back. It's the 90s all over again.
All right, so a quick side to my fashionistas out there. These are the important dates according to the fashion calendar. Milan Fashion Week is September 20th through the 26th. Paris Fashion Week is September 26th to October 4th. Texas Fashion Week
That's
is
made
October
up.
1st to the 7th. Los Angeles Fashion Week is October 6th to the 9th. And NYFW, New York Fashion Week, Bridal, is October 11th through the 14th.
All right. In this house, we only recognize 3 fashion weeks. So
Paris,
Paris, correct?
New York,
Correct?
Mall of America.
Incorrect.
Milan?
No.
No?
There are
Japan.
only 3 fashionable continents. Yes, Tokyo Fashion Week. Thank you. I have just offended all of South America and Africa and Australia.
Well,
But
get wrecked.
yes,
So
Paris, New York, and Tokyo.
I think they might have uploaded the wrong image for the Kirlia because there's literally nothing different
Yeah,
about this
I've
image.
looked.
The last Fashion Week one had Kirlia with a bowler hat. And the Croagunk is the same costume, so I suspect it will just be a repeat of that one. But also, what I found interesting is I think this is the first time we've had Shiny Yveltal in the raids. So
Yeah, I
that will
think it
be
is.
a lot of raid passes there, probably.
Well, you know, the Pokemon that symbolizes death is very fashionable.
Yeah. Fashion is death.
All right, that's our one of our Pokemon Goes for the week. What's our other Pokemon Go for the week? This is a good one. This is a good one.
Big news.
Good
This is the most
discussion.
exciting one.
October 2022 Community Day, Litwick. Saturday, October 15th, 2022, the spookiest day of the year, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Unlike Be Real, they do follow time zones. Trainers. We're excited to announce that Litwick, the candle Pokemon, will be featured during October Community Day. Featured Pokemon, Litwick. It can be shiny. Featured attack, Chandelure. Evolve Lampent, Litwick's evolution, during the event for up to 5 hours afterward to get a Chandelure that knows the charged attack Poltergeist. Poltergeist. Trainer battles 140 power. Gyms and raids 140 power. Community Day special research story. Field notes. Trick of the Light. You see it ties in with the Season of Light. Costs $1. Blah, blah. All the usual. Here we go. Event bonuses. 3 times XP for catching Pokemon. 2 times the chance for trainers level 31 and up to receive XL candy from catching Pokemon. Incense activated during the event will last for 3 hours. 1 additional special trade can be made for a maximum of 2 for the day. Can someone please tell me when I can trade a Pokemon with Aaron in Oklahoma without having to travel to Oklahoma? 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. Lure modules activated during the event will last for 3 hours, so be sure to get your grassy and ice lure modules up onto those Pokestops.
That's the best.
Take a few snapshots during Community Day for a surprise. Trades made will require 50% less Stardust. Bonus raid battles after Community Day, so this is when we can get the Pokemon to linger around when these raid battles pop up. After the 3-hour Community Day event ends, trainers will be able to take on 4-star raid battles, claiming victory in one of these raids will cause more Litwick to appear around the gym that hosted the raid for 30 minutes. 4-star raid battles, Lampent will appear in 4-star raids. You can only join these raids using raid passes and premium battle passes. Remote raid passes cannot be used to join these raids. Do not invite your friends from overseas. They can't play, and they just take up your time. Once you successfully complete a 4-star raid battle against Lampent, Litwick will begin to appear in a 300-meter radius around the gym that hosted the raid for 30 minutes. If you're lucky, you may encounter a shiny one, asterisk Litwick, that appear under these circumstances will have the same chance of appearing as a shiny Pokemon as those that appear during October Community Day's 3-hour event period. There's a community... I've never seen this before. Looking for other trainers to play with. If you're looking for other trainers in your area to trade battle or join raid battles, raid with on Community Day, check out our Community Day map by searching for community parks. You can find areas in your city that are historically popular places for Community Day. These parks may be a fun place to play with your local community while enjoying some fresh air, asterisk. We hope that this map will be helpful for those looking to meet other trainers, asterisk. Popular locations are provided for informational purposes only. Niantic is not hosting or operating official or unofficial events at these locations. Please be aware of your surroundings and follow guidelines from local health authorities when playing Niantic games. There's Litwick stickers, of course. That is the entirety of the article. Let's first, hold on. Let's talk about the choice of the Pokemon. Is this the first time that they have ever correctly placed the Pokemon for October Community Day?
Yes. Finally, they've made up for all of their past mistakes.
Did they not do Dusko one year?
In October?
Would that not be acceptable? Yeah.
I don't think it was in October for some reason. To the internet we go. Somebody say something so I don't have to edit out the silence.
But I'm typing. Oh, no. October 2021 was Shiny Dusko.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
2021.
I've got a better memory, apparently. But yeah, the other 2 years were not. It was Trapinch in 2019 and Beldum in 2018.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Scam City.
So this map is wild. I'm looking at it. Apparently, there's only going to be one community ambassador activity, which is going to be at Lake Nokomis here in Minneapolis, because there's nothing else. I've zoomed out as far as I can.
It's interesting that I don't know if those are the same as the events they've done in previous ones either, because the naming is different from it.
Yeah,
and they're different locations. So there isn't one in Edinburgh, which there were ones in Edinburgh for like 4 in a row. So I don't know whether they're kind of not doing them over kind of the Northern Hemisphere autumn and winter period, or
I feel like this is their push towards their like, hey, we finally found a community ambassador. Remember how they had people sign up for that?
Yes.
So I think this is the Minneapolis one reporting to Niantic, probably on the Silk Road, saying we're doing a meetup in Nokomis, and whoever that is not listed. It's just, hey, go there, and you'll find somebody.
So do you think that's then permanently replaced their official Niantic things with these ambassador things, or do you think that's just
I just think the summer of them doing Go Fest is over, and then they'll switch to the summer of doing Go Fest stuff in the Southern Hemisphere because it's nice.
I don't think they've not got any of them in the Southern Hemisphere though. They've still just got the two.
Yeah, it's not summer there
yet.
It's not summer yet. Won't be summer until December.
They didn't just do it in the summer here. They did it in spring as well.
It's fall.
But it's only been spring for 3 days.
Yes, but this will be the first. They did it in March.
It's barely spring.
Yeah, March is barely spring.
But
I think we already
know they don't like South America. This is a standard known issue.
Or Africa. There are apparently
there
are 2 parks in the entirety of Africa on that map. And they're both in South Africa.
Look, there's a lot I could say about the representation of Africa and the digital world, but I'm not getting paid for it, so I won't. If you need Will Anderson's expert advice, and also, sadly, I was contacted by the African Studies program at Georgetown this past week, and they said, please send us a face picture and the work that you've done for Africa over the past 25 years since you got your African Studies certificate from Georgetown. And I said, I must politely decline. I can finally achieve something.
Nothing! Are we going to read Steve's little opinion piece about South Korea here?
Not yet. We'll get there. Right. What are the community parks? I think this park may be a fun place to play with your local community while enjoying some fresh air. So basically what they've done, if you are somebody who plays Pokemon Go alone, if you go to the Pokemon Go Live website, look at the Litwick Community Day, and then click on the link for, what was the name of the link? It was like, it's down towards the bottom of the article, but they put pointers on the
Community Day map
where they have seen multiple people all playing together, so they know that that's a hot spot for people to play Pokemon Go. What is uniquely interesting, Greg, can you catch it? Do you have an idea? I see Silverwood Park, where you and I frequently go. We go there. Is ticked, but there is a place that is not ticked.
Yeah, I mean, Mall of America is not.
Mall of America is not.
It's not
ticked.
A park.
That's true. So I guess
it does say while enjoying fresh air. Is there fresh air in the Mall of America?
There's actually no HVAC system at all.
Yeah, there's no HVAC system. So yeah, it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's no HVAC system in the Mall of America. There's no air conditioning. There's no heating. Nothing.
Wow.
There's a very interesting. If you're interested in how they did the airflow in Mall of America, it is actually quite interesting. If you're into that thing, just look it up. There's been a lot. They did a lot of studies about it, but it really is. The heat is in the winter is generated by the people in there. And they have an entire system of circulating the air underground to cool it off in the summer. It's a fascinating thing. They made it surprisingly for when it was built pretty green at the time. But yeah, there's not a lot of fresh air in that mall.
I am interested in how, like, what their threshold is for defining these parks, because looking at in Scotland, there's quite a few that make perfect sense to me. And then there's one random one in this little village in the west of Scotland that surely must have, only maybe 1,000 people living there. And it's this random little swing park. I don't know, maybe
all 1,000 people there play Pokemon Go.
They must do, but it's the only one that's out in the sticks. Like everything else is in the cities, which makes sense.
Come on, Al. Let's be 100% honest here. All of Scotland is the sticks. So
clearly, someone who's never been to Glasgow, third biggest city in the UK.
I mean, congratulations, the UK.
as long as you put the asterisk in the UK on there.
Exactly.
I didn't realize that Trout Brook Nature Sanctuary was a hot spot for Go. I didn't think they had great coverage.
Well, I mean, it's a beautiful spot. Park. It's about as good as that small town in western Scotland,
I guess.
All right, Greg, do you want to read Steve's travel report from Pokemon Go Safari Zone?
Yes, of course I shall. Use my Steve voice.
What was the name of the place
in my
in
opinion,
South Korea where it is? It's in a park.
Yeah.
Is this Gaijol Park? Hold on.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyways, my opinion, which is Steve's opinion on Safari Zone Korea, he says it's very similar to St. Louis. There was no merch booth like St. Louis. They did have a dedicated trade area like Go Fest. You could do 5 trades. It was reduced It had a reduced Stardust. There was a Pikachu meet and greet, which does sound fun. But also that was supposed to happen at St. Louis, or did happen at St. Louis. It's hard to say what happened at St. Louis because it got rained out, but I think that was supposed to be there.
See, he's confused.
Or is he comparing
because
it to our St. Louis?
Which was the Safari Zone, because we got the Safari Pikachu at the merch booth. There was a merch booth there.
The research, you got one guaranteed shiny Spritzy, which was like the research we had in St. Louis. He feels that the park was amazing. It was 5 kilometers to walk around the lake. They did bring cows, but they had only set them on one side of the park, which created some drop areas. They needed it on both sides of the park. Personally, for Steve, it was not worth the expensive flight and hotel. It was way more expensive than Go Fest Germany and Go Fest Seattle, which he felt were much better experiences. It is definitely worth going if you are in South Korea or you're in nearby countries where the flights would be shorter and cheaper. Overall, like any trip, you get in what you put in. So if you decide to go visit and do other travel things in the city that you've never been in, your mileage may vary about how much you value that trip.
I agree, because I would probably get little to nothing out of going to Germany, but I'd be going wild if I was in South Korea. I'd be having the greatest time of my life, visiting every location from every K-drama I've ever watched, just to see those sites and be in those places. Get to take a stroll along the Han River. Please, dreams can come true. All right, one more news article before the break, if I can figure out where I put it. This is a short one, but there is a quiz at the end.
Oh, no.
Pokemon, the Arceus Chronicles, available on Netflix. Journey along with Ash and friends as they attempt to save the stunning Sinnoh region once more. A visit to the Sinnoh region turns into a high-stakes adventure when Ash, Pikachu, and friends join forces with powerful Pokémon to confront a looming threat. Pokémon, The Arceus Chronicles, now available on Netflix, tells the story of Ash and his friends' incredible quest. This new animated special originally debuted at the 2022 Pokémon World Championships in London, but fans all over the world can now watch the story inspired by Pokémon Legends Arceus. Facing a rampaging Heatran and Team Galactic commanders determined to find their missing leader, Ash receives assistance from a trio of legendary Pokémon and Sinnoh champion Cynthia. But will it be enough to save the day? Here's the quiz. Have either of you watched this?
I have not watched it yet. I just remembered that it was in there. I'm like, oh, I should watch that.
I have seen about 5 minutes when we were in London.
Because this is the same thing they were playing at London, right? It is,
yeah. It's the exact same one, yeah. We decided not to go and watch it, and we're walking around playing Pokemon Go, and forgot that it was the time, so we just kind of walked past and noticed it and saw it for about 5 minutes as we were walking past. So I haven't watched it. No.
I'm interested to find out if I believe there were three movies in a series that were like the Arceus films, and does this make it a fourth in that series, or is it completely separate?
Oh, interesting.
Right, because it was, hold on, let me see. Giratina and the Sky Warrior is one. Arceus and the Jewel of Life is one. I think those are related. And possibly the Rise of Darkrai. Did that have Arceus in it?
I think it did.
Yeah, so the Wikipedia page does say that the two that you've mentioned are sequels to this one specifically.
Oh, they do relate. Okay.
Oh, interesting. You need to be in the deep lore to know this one.
I was almost in the deep lore, but much like the theme of this week's episode, I was just scraping. Scraping the top. All right. We will.
Yeah, well, interestingly, they aren't saying this is a movie, though. They are saying it's a special.
I think because it's not in theaters. Like, you can't buy a ticket to go to a theater to see it. They're not going to give it that name.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why they did that, because we haven't had one since 2020 was the last film that came out. Although it didn't come out
that was
in the West
Coco
until last
film,
year.
Right?
Yeah, that's the most recent
official
film that we've had.
Can't say. Everybody watch it, and we'll have everybody has to give us their opinions next week. That's it. All right, let us pause for a break. If you are a Patreon or an Apple subscriber, whatever that's called, you'll hear a nice jingle. If you're not, you will listen to the entirety of the advertisements, and you will patronize one of our advertisers using the code so that they know that you heard it here. And then you'll be back for more Pokemon entertainment when we come back. And you have returned from our break. Welcome back to It's Super Effective, a Pokemon podcast. We have more Pokemon news for you. Here we go. Number 1, if I haven't lost the article, Pokemon TCG Sword and Shield Ultra Premium Collection Charizard. So you will not find this.
This is going to start fights. This is actually going to result in fist fights in Target again.
This launches on October 28th, 2022, just in time for Halloween. The Sword and Shield series and the era of Pokemon V, Pokemon V Max, and Pokemon V Star have offered powerful gameplay options. Now you can take your game even further with help from a hotshot who puts all that power to good use. Charizard turns up the heat in this ultra premium collection, appearing on 3 beautiful promo cards with etched foil treatments that are sure to intimidate your opponents. Charizard V leads the pack with an Incinerate attack, and not only damages your opponent's active Pokemon, but also removes any Pokemon tools attached to it. This card can then evolve into the fearsome-looking Charizard V Max. Its G Max Wildfire attack has a high cost, 3 fire energy and 2 colorless energy. Plus, you must discard 2 energy from the Pokemon when using the attack, but the massive 300 damage it does is worthwhile. You can also evolve Charizard V into Charizard V Star. The card's colorful portrayal of Charizard battling Mewtwo is a sight to behold. Its attacks are mighty impressive, too. Explosive Fire hits for 130 damage, and it does an extra 100 damage if Charizard V-Star has any damage counters on it. The Pokemon Star Blaze V-Star power requires you to discard 2 energy from the Pokemon, but it does a devastating 320 damage. In addition to these incredible promo cards, Charizard's Gigantamax form is shown in all its glory on a playmat, metal coin, and set of card sleeves. Metal dice and condition markers round out this ultimate set of gameplay accessories. And as you open the huge stack of booster packs inside this box, take a journey through the Sword and Shield series with an original booklet full of images and stats. Each Pokemon TCG Sword and Shield Ultra Premium Collection Charizard includes 3 etched foil promo cards, Charizard V, Charizard VMAX, and Charizard V-Star, 1 playmat featuring Gigantamax Charizard, 65 card sleeves featuring Gigantamax Charizard, 1 metal coin featuring Gigantamax Charizard, 6 metal damage counter dice, 2 metal condition markers, 1 acrylic V-Star marker, 16 Pokemon TCG booster packs from the Sword and Shield series. That's 16 of them. Wow. A player's guide to the entire Sword and Shield series. A code card usable in either the Pokemon TCG Online or Pokemon TCG Live.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
No. The Pokemon TCG Sword and Shield Ultra Premium Collection Charizard will be available on October 28th, 2022 in the Pokemon Center and where Pokemon TCG products are sold. Bobby, start saving now.
Yeah. Get in line early for this one.
I mean, have we seen a single Pokemon set like this? Man.
I think there was an Evolutions one, but obviously that was all of them rather than just one. But no, I think the only other premium there's only been one other premium collection, that was the Celebrations one last year, which was already impossible to get. And then you make it Charizard based, and good luck with that.
That's
because I got every other box of the Celebration set last year. And I just couldn't get the premium collection. It just tried everywhere for months.
Did that also come with the metal dice and the metal status markers and that bit?
Yeah, it did. It did, yeah. It also had the gold limited edition cards, the Pokeball and a Pikachu, I think. I know I have them somewhere.
But I thought you didn't.
I ended up buying. I didn't get the collection. I ended up buying the things that were exclusive to it from eBay, and probably spending more money than the collection itself would have cost.
That's how the scalpers get you.
Yep.
My real question is the playmat. Is it like one of those nice playmats that you would actually use, or is it a piece of paper?
I suspect it's one of the nice fabric ones, but I don't think we have a picture of it yet.
Oh, okay. Because if it's not one of the ones that, well, to me, the way the picture of the box doesn't look like it can hold, a cloth one with a nice rubber back to it, or rubberized back to it.
I mean, it could be rolled up. It's hard to see how big this box is.
True.
It would be something if it's a full-size playmat rolled up and shoved in that box. I have a feeling it may be a cloth rubberized playmat, but it probably will be small.
Yeah, there's different sizes of playmats. I really do like the art on Charizard V and Charizard V Star. The Charizard V Max is a little too Godzilla for me.
I was wrong. There was another premium collection. There was a Zacian and Zamazenta premium collection early on, which you feel like you should just be able to find out what the playmat was in that one, and it should be the same.
I know.
Because the box looks very similar. Just obviously different design.
Yeah, well, somebody's going to have to do the research. We'll find out in the comments from somebody who actually managed to get one of these collections. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. I know that there are people who like super stan particular Pokemon, especially like TCG players, and will like absolutely have to have the Charizard set so that they can play with it. All right. Next article. This one's special for Greg. This is from techradar.com. Nintendo Switch OLED Pokémon Scarlet and Violet Edition pre-orders live now. Where to buy the latest limited edition Nintendo Switch OLED. We've gathered up exactly where you can place a Nintendo Switch OLED Pokémon Scarlet and Violet Edition pre-order right here so you can secure a copy of the limited console before it sells out. More U.S. retailers have listed the console, but we're still waiting for them to open pre-orders after it sold out at Target. Meanwhile, in the UK, it's out of stock at Amazon, but still available at a number of other stores. Stick with us for all the latest news. Nintendo Switch OLED Pokémon Scarlet and Violet Edition sports a bold red and purple design on the Joy-Con, with the legendary Pokemon Koraidon and Miraidon from each game emblazoned on the front and the white dock. The back of the Nintendo Switch OLED console is plastered with graffiti-style art featuring other Pokemon icons and logos from the games. Hint, hint, I think they're the gyms. Lastly, the rear of the dock has a cleverly included Pokeball detail as a neat final touch. One key thing to note, though, is that the limited edition console does not include a copy of either Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet, so you'll need to purchase your next entry in the Eternal Catch-em-all series separately. The Nintendo Switch OLED Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Edition is priced at $359 US, 319 and 99, I don't know, pence US, I mean British pounds, no idea how many euros. And you can find where pre-orders are currently available just below. We'll continue updating the list as more retailers put the limited edition console up for sale ahead of release on November 4th. All right, so it basically says Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, Nintendo Store US, Target, and in the UK, Amazon UK, Game, Shop2, Smith's Toys, and that's Smith's spelled with a Y, not where you'd expect it.
Not where you think.
And not where you think.
Where would you expect it?
That's a joke.
Oh.
For She-Hulk fans.
For She-Hulk fans.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, Al, have you pre-ordered one?
I have. Yes, I have my pre-order in. Got it on as soon as it was live.
Congratulations.
Sorry, Greg.
You probably programmed
a
bot to bomb the site the minute it went live.
Here's the thing. I have a bone to pick with this stupid article because it says pre-orders available, and then if you read its description, it's like, well, not here though, but not here either. Not here. Actually, it's not anywhere, but here's the links. So just keep, and maybe we'll update you.
It says we will list where pre-orders could exist if they do exist.
It's just a pack of lies. This article's a pack of lies. James, the writer of this article, I'm coming for you for selling me a pack of lies.
But Greg, you really want this one?
I actually do kind of really want this one. One, because I don't have this model of Switch. I like having the artwork, because right now I have the Eevee Pikachu one, and it's time for a change out. So,
Well, I mean, it says we will list where pre-orders could exist if they do exist.
I like having the artwork, because right now I have the Eevee Pikachu one, and it's time for a change out. So, I actually can afford this one, so I can just go buy it. The thing is like I live really close to a Target, so I will probably just end up going when they're supposed to be
And
released.
I live really close to 2 Targets, and especially the one that's like the we have stuff in stock fancy Target.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I check every once in a while to see if things are available for pre-order again. It's one of those frustrating things where it's like the pre-order's selling out. Like you could have pre-orders, like we know, like you're gonna end up making a bunch.
Yeah, I just wish I wish they would do build to like order to build. I don't know what way to phrase it, right? They know how many people will pre-order, and then they could build that many versus having a limited supply, and then eventually somebody who wanted one is just going to end up not getting it.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing about these is it's not really, I mean, I say they're not special, like I'm not already buying one, but like it's not really like they're special. It's just like a essentially paint on a case of the existing Switch, it's right?
Existing Switches where they have painted stuff on it. And granted, I like the colors, which is why I want to buy it. But it is a bit wild that they're like, well, it's sold out. You can't pre-order it. It's high demand because we had like 4 pre-orders.
False scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've seen this before. We saw it with the Animal Crossing one, and now, like, literally they're like, please take this Animal Crossing Switch. We have 5,000 of them.
Oh, I need to buy one of those. I do believe I can count at least 10 consoles behind Al right now, and that's just the ones that his head is not blocking.
Right.
Do you really need more?
Well, look, I currently do not have a Switch OLED. That might be because I just sold one to get the money to pay for this one. But
wow.
I'm not increasing the number of Switches that I have. So I will have 5 Switches once this one comes, which sounds ridiculous until you realize that 4 of them are different limited edition Pokemon ones. So there is a good reason for each of them.
But
there's a good reason for any of them because you're an adult.
I mean, yeah, it's your money. Spend it as you will. Although you do have a wife and children to.
This is investment.
Absolutely.
These will increase in value to put all children through university because you don't do college.
Al, does your wife play Pokemon?
No, she plays other games, but not Pokemon.
Does she play farming games?
I'm trying to convince her to try some out. She hasn't got there. She's currently playing Trombone Champ. I don't know if anyone else played that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I haven't played it, but I've seen it.
And she's been doing a lot of playing the Lego games. She plays a lot of them.
So I rarely take my Switch out of the dock. I, like 99% of the time, am playing my Switch on my very large television. Is there any argument for me to get an OLED Switch?
Pokemon.
No.
I mean, I rarely take mine out either, and I'm getting it because I want to look at my 2 hot legendaries staring at me while I play my games.
I'm actually the opposite. I almost never play it on the TV because we're quite often, watching something on TV together, and I'm playing on handheld.
I mean, you share your house with other people while I abhor that concept.
Yeah, but so does Greg.
Yeah, but you don't want to know. You don't want to know the wild media extravaganza that happens on my husband's desk.
Well, but also, like, Greg and his husband are living life the right way. I fully endorse. They each have a floor of the home to themselves, and they interact when necessary, and otherwise, it's complete independence.
Sadly, that doesn't work when you have kids.
They've got dogs.
We have 2 dogs, and
let's not get into that discussion.
The dogs. Look, all I am saying is where you have to entertain your children with things on the TV because they are actually aware of programming. I can just play video games, and as long as something is playing and there's noise, the dogs are like, we're not going out anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, Craig does enjoy me playing Fall Guys on the TV. He does like to watch me playing Fall Guys. So there is something there. Not a fan of the more complicated or more serene games, but Fall Guys is just the right level
of bright and wild and bouncy.
Exactly.
With Craig being one of the most Scottish names that can possibly exist, let's shift to the next article written by one of the most Irish names that I've seen in quite some time, Liam Doolin of NintendoLife.com wrote, Hori reveals new Pokemon-themed designs for the Switch Split Pad Fit. That was written that way just to make it difficult for me. Switch Split Pad Fit.
What is a bad name? A Switch Split Pad Fit?
Let's see if I can explain it by reading this article. Accessory maker Hori has revealed its... Can you imagine that with an Irish accent? I'm sure there's like all kinds of extra syllables in there. So it's like, splay it, pad. Oh, I'm going to get roasted by the Irish.
We're sorry, Tone. We're so sorry.
No, we're not.
No apologies.
Never apologize.
Accessory maker Hori, because I used to like have an Irish person living in my house, and she pronounced the word beans with 2 syllables. And how is that?
Beans, yeah.
Beans.
Beans, yeah.
Accessory maker Hori has revealed it's teaming up with the Pokemon Company to release Pokemon-themed Split Pad Fit. In case you missed it, these Joy-Con-like controllers are a follow-up to Hori's Split. They got me.
They got you.
Hori's Switch Split Pad Pro, and are officially releasing here in the West as the Switch Split Pad Compact. They'll be available here in 2 different colors, but over in Japan there are 4, and now even more options to choose from. Hori is offering 2 new sets, including a Pikachu and Mimikyu pair, and another featuring Gengar. They're releasing this month in this location, but right now there's no word on a local release. You can, however, get your hands on international stock from Play Asia, and then it looks like there is a link to that particular thing. The Switch Split Pad Fit / Compact controls have an ergonomic design, full-size analog sticks, buttons, and a D-pad. Unfortunately, they don't include motion controls, HD rumble, NFC, an IR camera, or wireless functions. The colors are on offer locally include light gray X yellow and apricot red. They're priced at $49.99 US each, according to the official Hori USA website, and are expected to arrive in stores within the US next month. What do you think of these new Pokemon designs? Will you be picking up the Switch Split Pad Compact when it's released locally? Leave a comment below. And to learn more, see our previous post. And there's a link to the previous post. I am so confused.
So they're like Joy-Cons, but without most of the features. They're designed for they're more ergonomic. So they're designed for longer gaming sessions, because your Joy-Cons holding them are it can be quite cramped sometimes. So that's kind of the idea behind them. I suspect, presumably, those designs will come here. You've got to think.
Yeah, probably.
Also, it's like to preface all of this, Hori is like the #1 license to make controllers for Nintendo products, right?
Yeah.
If you see a non-Nintendo controller for a Nintendo console, it's most likely from Hori.
The split pad, I think, is the original, and the Pro were certainly very popular with people. The interesting thing about these ones is, I don't know what you think, but they look less ergonomic than the previous ones. Although I don't know whether they've managed to create a nice balance, but I don't know.
And the intent with these, as Al said, they don't do everything that the Joy-Cons do. Is basically you can connect them to the Switch to play in handheld mode, but you can't do anything else. You can't read Amiibo. No. You can't do where there's games where you put the Switch into the dock and take the Joy-Cons off and use the Joy-Cons as controllers. If they're not connected to the Switch, they're not going to work.
Yeah.
But, man, saying, right, because they're like, this whole thing about, the Pokemon ones, I think what they're basically saying is the Pokemon ones, which are a really cute Pikachu Mimikyu one, I actually really like that, and a cute Gengar one, aren't available here. And
they've not announced that they're available. That doesn't mean they will never be.
Really ugly monochrome. I think it's offensive to call that even apricot. That's an offense to apricots. And the gray-yellow one.
The gray-yellow ones are good.
I quite like the gray-yellow one.
The apricot red looks more terracotta pot to me than apricot
it looks like
red.
they were planning on doing something and never glazed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the weirdest thing about that is the buttons are the same color. And that just feels really wrong to me. Why are the buttons the same color?
So monochrome. Yeah. What designer?
It's not pretty.
What?
I have been considering getting a split pad for a while, but never actually done it. I think if they do launch the Gengar one here, I will probably bite the bullet and buy it. The Gengar ones are really good. It looks really good.
The Pokemon ones are really cute.
And I've been a bit spoiled recently by the ergonomics of the Steam Deck since I got it. So the idea of having slightly better handheld Switch would be nice.
Oh man, I kind of want a Steam Deck. No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean, I want one too, but no, I can't. I just can't. I can't do more things. I only have so much time.
If I were to get a Steam Deck, the only outcome of that happening would be me buying Portal for like the 6th time.
Yeah.
Do you not own Portal on Steam yet? Because you don't have to buy it again.
I don't think I do have it on Steam because I have it on every other console.
Interesting.
Buying BioShock for the 6th time, buying the Myst series for the 6th time. No. I think the thing is that I have so many of these games on Steam anyway, and I just never played them because I really hate playing games on a PC. But having them on the handheld is just really nice. So the biggest thing that I'm finding it for is actually being able to play these early access games, 2 years before they come on Switch. All right. So let me do the appropriation. Is that the... No, not appropriation. That's not the right word. Oh, dag. Attribution. The right attributions. Although I never go to that channel. So that's why. All right. So we got... Chris is the one who told us about the Switch split pad fit. And Spencer submitted something that we didn't do. Oh, Spencer submitted the Litwick Community Day, which obviously was just getting in first. Congrats. And then finally, we have an entry from our Irish correspondent, Tone. This is from Sarumi, so it's 100% authentic.
But not sourced.
There's a graphic.
I think the source was just Ed Sheeran's Twitter account.
You could say that.
I agree with you on that one.
You could point to people where you got this information from so that people can't constantly say Sarumi makes things up because you never attribute your sources. You just put information out there. But if you actually gave backup sources, it would give less credit to people who say you make things up.
I would also like to say I'm going to limit this to Japan because I think they're the worst offenders. You can't just put an X between two things and imagine that means something.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I know.
Especially when there is a game called Pokemon X.
Well, true. But they do it all over, like Spy X Family.
Spy X Family.
It's like
Hunter X.
Such an amazing anime, but most people are turned off by the X.
Yeah.
Anyways, Pokemon X Ed Sheeran Celestial. It has been confirmed that the collaboration between Pokemon and Ed Sheeran will be a song called Celestial. This song is due for release on September 29th, 2022 on the usual music platforms. Ed Sheeran previously had collaboration with Pokemon through a special concert in Pokémon GO last year, and he released a message to all players at the Pokemon World Championships. Did you see the Ed Sheeran message at the Pokemon World Championships, Al?
I don't think so. But
Did you
so
even
much happened that
attend
weekend.
the World Championships? Because you certainly
I just
seem
spent
to
the whole
have
time
missed
hanging
quite-
around with Steve on the stream. You know, there wasn't anything else happening. I can't remember an Ed Sheeran thing.
Anybody here a fan of Ed Sheeran?
So, for me, Ed Sheeran and Post Malone are the same problem where I know I've heard their songs, but if you ask me what they are, I'd be like, They just floated and float right back out.
Yeah, I don't hate his music, but yeah, I'm not going to specifically go and listen to them, except I'll probably specifically go and listen to this one.
Like, if you ask me...
At least once.
If you ask me
Yes.
to do, like, either the Post Malone Pokemon song, we're going to put that in quotes, or the Katy Perry song, I can't remember either of them. Like, I don't know.
True.
She said it's electric.
Oh, I like the Katy Perry one.
But every time I think of the Electric Slide and not her song. And when I think of the Post Malone song, I'm actually thinking of Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
Because literally, you did something else to it. What you did, could not tell you. Just...
What I find interesting is they seem to be going all in on music just now, because they'd only recently announced the Pokemon Music Collective, which is their collaboration with Universal Music. They've only released one song from that, but I think it's interesting that they've done that, because then obviously last year they did the Pokemon 25,
and yet
music.
they haven't released the Sword and Shield soundtracks yet.
Yeah, still nothing. Still a giant blank hole in my collection.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. These are two separate music collaborations that are being announced within a couple of weeks of each other.
Well, maybe 2023 is the year of sound types. For me, there's songs that are like never skip songs, right? That come on and it's like, I have to listen to this song all the way through. There's songs that come on the radio and it's like, I'm not going to change the channel, but like I'll enjoy and pass. That's where Ed Sheeran falls. And then there's like the Mountain Goats, where I will literally stop listening to a radio station for a month if they play a Mountain Goat song. So yeah, it's like I'll listen to it. It won't imprint on my brain, but it's like I won't change the channel just because it comes on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all of the news that we have for this week. So, Greg, are we prepared for question of the week?
Well, I thought it was gonna be Cody. So get ready.
No.
The question of the week.
A little screamo, little Norwegian
Amazing.
death metal. Very appropriate. All right, this question was from our Slack question of the week from Chris, and I believe Chris also submitted. Did I give him credit for one of these articles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he did the Hori one.
The Hori one.
Yeah.
This is Chris from the south of the United States. Which character from a past region and game could you see making a cameo appearance in Scarlet and Violet? So this is along the lines of that strange, what's his name from Black and White 2, who showed up in Sun and Moon?
Colress?
Colress.
Oh, yeah.
Colress was just like walking down the street
Hey.
in the Hawaiian Islands, chilling
Hey,
out.
I'm not
That
in
was
jail.
odd.
I'm not in jail. Nobody's caught me for my
I'm not
crimes.
evil. I just built a ship that freezes cities.
It was for science. You can't arrest scientists.
I mean, if there's going to be someone, it'll presumably be from Kalos, right?
Nah.
It's
gonna be Mirror
It could be from
It's right
Galar.
next door. It could be Galar, but Kalos is right next door. Maybe you'll finally get to go to that train station in Kalos.
I've already said that. The train station's pointing in the wrong direction.
Well, it depends on how you're holding your map now, isn't it?
Yes, everybody in Kalos stands on their heads.
I mean, I would not hate seeing.
There's no proof that Paldea is next to Kalos. They've not shown that at all.
They have not shown that. We are just assuming because they're similar shapes and sizes.
I don't think they've ever shown it other than Kanto and Johto.
All of
they've
Kalos
never shown
is
any
in
of them
that
next to each
cloud
other.
area is what they're really saying.
So who do we got? Greg, you got anybody? Who's spicy enough?
I mean, I feel like we could see a Bryson and a Diantha coming to the South Beach area for a film shoot, and you just run into them filming, having a good old time over there, doing stuff, making acting happen.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're right about it being pointing the wrong direction.
Here we go.
Depends on which train station you're talking about.
The one in Kuruwe, the one that you never used.
In the upper right-hand corner?
Yeah, so it's going west, which would be the right direction.
No, that points east to Germany.
It doesn't point east. I'm looking at it right now. It points
You're
west.
still wrong.
Unless for some reason, when you're in that town, the camera is flipped. That is definitely going west.
That town is on the northeast side of Kalos.
And the train is going the other direction. It's going west.
It's going to England. It's going to Galar.
I mean, it could be.
It's not.
It's not, but it could be. You're right. It's definitely going west.
Looking at people from Kalos, I had completely forgotten there was a Dragon type Elite Four member, who she was and what she looked like.
Yeah, I mean, the Elite Four from Kalos was very forgettable. That train goes into the mountain. There's a tunnel there.
No, it doesn't.
You're not looking. It certainly does. That is not the end of the line. That train goes.
It goes both directions then.
Yes.
Well.
So it could absolutely go.
Is this on the Kalos map? Where are we looking?
I'm not saying it is, but it could.
Kouriway Town. Kouriway. Yeah, no, the western facing side goes to what's the big city? Not Castelia. What's the center city in Kalos? Why is my brain frozen?
Lumios?
Yes. Anyways, getting back to this question of the week, the only correct answer is Skyla, because this entire whole theme of Paldea is like things that you ride, motorcycles, cars, and she's the airplane person. So she's going to fly her airplane to learn more about the
What about the Go-Goat farmer then?
Was there a Go-Goat farmer?
Yeah, the whole Go-Goat ranch.
Maybe.
I'm going to go with Clement.
Yeah, Clement shows up where he's not wanted all the time.
Would you stop? Clement's dad. Look, there's only one way I'm going to meet Clement's dad.
Through the power of science!
That's through Clement, okay? Oh, gracious.
Well, we already know that Clement may designed the Rotom phone. So, we'll go the Bill route and you will have to upgrade your Rotom phone and Clement will meet you somewhere to do that. That's my theory.
Nah, it's going to be Sophocles.
Sophocles.
Why would it be Sophocles?
Sophocles also inserts himself into places where he's not wanted.
And Sophocles just became a gym leader, so he doesn't have time to be traveling. He
strikes me as someone who doesn't really want to travel either. He feels like someone who's like happy at home. Just want to stay here.
You have not seen his budding friendship in Pokemon Masters with a supervillain, then have you?
Oh, dear.
I think we all know I have not.
All right. Our YouTube question of the week, and this is from, although they tried to hide who they were, also another known Magic the Gathering cheater, Ryan. Hey all, what is the best set of remakes in each of your opinions? And I answered in the YouTube comments the Unova remakes because they just got everything absolutely right.
I actually
Greg?
have two answers for this.
Okay, Al.
Oh, sorry.
No, you
So
go.
I can't decide, and I don't want to be accused of being a Gen 1er. So let me explain my reasonings for both of them. So I think that Fire Red and Leaf Green are the most accurate to the original games in terms of remakes. And so if you're looking for that, I think that does it best. But I actually think that Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, are the most interesting in terms of a remake. So you have the ones that are like basically trying to be the exact same game. And then you have the ones that are trying to be the game, but in the modern generation, like Oras. And then you have Let's Go, which is like, let's kind of do what we like from the old game, but try and do some new stuff that, you know, isn't just doing the same as what we did in the previous game in this generation. And I really like that. So I'd probably go for Let's Go. But if you're just looking for a modern version of an older game, although I don't really think you can call Fire Red and Leaf Green modern anymore, but at the time, certainly,
they were at the time.
I think it did a very good job of being most accurate to the original games, I think.
Greg, do you have an opinion?
You know what mine is.
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire?
Yeah.
I mean, those were some fun games to play.
Here's the thing. For a remake, it did what I needed it to do for me, right? Like, it faithfully, for the most part, redid the region, but put in a ton of improvements that admitted, yeah, we relied on backtracking a lot in these early games to stretch out the time that you spent and grinding, and we're gonna not do that in this one. You're gonna be able to teleport all around, and then you're gonna get a giant legendary that you can fly around. So I think they did the flight really well. I think they did secret bases really well. I think they modernized it really well. My gripes are they didn't include enough stuff from Emerald. They didn't do the whole Battle Factory stuff, which would have been really nice for an end game in that game, because the Battle Factory stuff needs to come back. It's a really interesting thing to do with your end game that's not just Battle Tree. And so, I mean, I have complaints about it, but I think when I look at remakes, I think they did enough things right. I think the problem I have with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which always makes people angry, is like they improved the AI and added sports. They did change. They made the Safari Zone super weird. Like it's wild how they changed the Safari Zone. They didn't improve Kanto at all. It's still as pointless as it was, and they didn't fix the leveling curve. And they didn't. You still have to backtrack a lot in that game. There's not a lot of shortcuts. There's still a very weird traverse through that game through forest obstacles.
I mean, personally, sorry.
I was just gonna say I just like the way the play style that they introduced in the Let's Go games. I like playing with my Pokeball Plus.
Yeah.
I will say for Omega Ruby.
Whoa! Hello.
Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, of all Pokemon games, there's one, like, if you say Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire to me, it always comes to mind that battle with who was the kid who
Wally.
Wally at the end. It was just, I just think it's such a with the way it fits in with the story.
Yeah.
The way I almost want to say like the cinematography around it, the placement, I just always comes to mind. It's just such a memorable moment that you don't necessarily have in other Pokemon games. So, still not my favorite remake.
Yeah, I do personally enjoy all of the remakes. Yes, even Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I think they're all good in different ways. Not to say that I wouldn't like them all to be, you know, would I have improved Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl? Yes, yes, I think that could have been better in many ways. But I like what they did with it. You know, I think its biggest issues were in not being well stable enough, right? The bugs were an issue. And not trying to do things a little bit differently. Like I felt it was a bit too cautious and didn't try and improve some of the problems with them. You know, you don't have to do everything the same. And I think that certainly with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I think that was good in many ways, and particularly the soaring. You know, the soaring was possibly one of the best ways to travel in any Pokemon game ever, and I really would like that to come back. They got pretty close in Legends with the flying. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, I think I enjoyed them all. Heart Gold and Soul Silver certainly has a special place in my heart because that was the first game I came back to after my period of not playing Pokemon games. So yeah, no, I really like them all. Legitimately, non-sarcastically love them all.
I mean, I like, again, when people are like, I can't believe you didn't like Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Like, I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't enjoy Gen 2, but I still will play it. It comes out, I play it, and I enjoy it. Like, I have legit, like, it is my least favorite, but I will play Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl before I'll ever touch a Madden game. I will tell you that
much. Yeah. Yeah. They all have their charm and their issues.
All right. Pokemon of the week. Last week's Pokemon. Oh, let me find my notes.
I think Al knows it because I didn't write it down. So
Al did guess it correctly in the Slack.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was though.
So it's you'll get it when I say it.
Yeah.
Let me just read the clue again. It's I said Nick Burgess or Burgess inspired this week's riddle. Bellsprout, Weepin' Bell, Victory Bell, Blossom, and Beldum went on a trip with standard acceleration. Who was left out? If you think there are two possible answers, you are incorrect.
It's Bronzong.
It is Bronzong.
It's Munchlax.
It is not Munchlax. Greg.
Yeah, it is. It's always Munchlax.
So the reasoning for those who this was too difficult for is clearly I read a bunch of Pokemon that have the word Bell in their names. There are two other Bell Pokemon, one being Bronzong, which is it's more than Bell. It's like the Bronze Bell Pokemon or something like that. The other being Chingling, which is just like the Bell Pokemon. So that's why I said standard acceleration, because that's 1G versus 2Gs, which you would find in Chingling's name. Either way.
Trivia. Bronzong does not have any weakness in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time, and Explorers of Darkness. Okay. Due to both its ability being used simultaneously. Wow, okay. When Bronzong blinks or falls asleep in Gen 5, its eyes turn white.
I didn't even know it had eyes. It's a bell.
Yeah. Prior to Gen 8, Bronzong was the only Pokemon able to learn Rain Dance by level up that could not learn any moves or have any abilities that would benefit from rain. This may be related to its Pokedex entries, several which mention Bronzong's natural power to summon rain clouds. Its shiny is okay. I mean, the thing is they made it green, so it's like old rusted copper. I don't like it.
Well,
but the shuffle is good.
Because bronze does not oxidize. Or is it brass that doesn't oxidize? One of them.
I thought it was brass that doesn't oxidize.
Bronze is an alloy of copper and... Oh, forget it. Or is copper an alloy of bronze and iron? My metallurgy is well. In the
Bronze is an alloy that contains copper, which can oxidize when combined with moisture.
Yes, so can I. All right, this week's Pokemon. Made it easier because clearly last week's was too complicated. This Pokemon, which shares a type with Weezing and shares a type with Berserker, was the first Pokemon introduced with this type combination that neither had a Mega Evolution nor was a mythical Pokemon. It has recently become much easier to find thanks to tiles and air tags. Wow, the look on Al's face. Folks,
I'm probably doing that thing where I'm overthinking one of the specific things you say.
Probably.
And I need to go back to.
And usually that's the point in the episode where I get to stop talking, but here we go. Closing notes. There is a giveaway for 5 copies of Scarlet and Violet until the end of the month. Free to enter. Link in the show notes. And then I see there's a link. So I will post the link in the show notes. But there's a contest if you want to enter to try to win a copy of Scarlet and Violet. So that is our show for this week. Thank you, Al, for coming in at the last minute to join the conversation. Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at the ScottBot. That's Scott with 1 T. If you want to tune into a podcast about farming games, I also do one of those. So there you go.
Greg, what do you have to shill?
But find me on Twitter at White Wing, and I link to all the stuff that I do. I have a actual play podcast. I have a RPG out. I have another book out. I'm writing a 3rd book right now. I got a lot going on.
Yeah, if you don't listen to Greg's podcast, Very Random Encounters, you're clearly listening to the lesser quality.
Highly edited.
Oh, Very Random Encounters is very professional. I listen to that every week, even though I absolutely hate tabletop role-playing games.
I know. Amazing. We appreciate your support.
You appreciate you. Oh, how dare you appreciate your support me. Man, that's what you say to somebody, or you've taken their $5 donation and you're like, yeah, thanks a lot. It costs more to process this for tax purposes than the $5 gave us. Anyways,
hey, you're helping me get to PAX Unplugged, so.
You can, I got to buy your plane ticket.
I know, we have to figure that out.
You can find me pretty much on all social media at Wash in the Sink. You can find the program at PKMNcast, and that's also the same for Instagram, Twitter, all the places, just PKMNcast. That's also probably the promo code for our sponsors this week. What else do I have to cover? If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe, get the notifications, hit the bell so you can get notifications of when, although we get an episode every Monday, so that's quite regular. But there's also other things that come up on the YouTube channel that you might want to watch. Otherwise, that's this week's episode. How does it end?
This has been another episode.
This has been another episode of the Pokemon podcast, and we are Al. We are
super sorting through the sky. On Latios.
We're super effective, but Greg.
Oh, sorry.
We are super effective, or Super Switch Split Pad.
Super Switch Split Pad Pro.
Fit. Compact. Don't buy the terracotta pot ones. They're ugly.